about you, but I just got my assignment.
Hi, Leo. All right, welcome, excuse me, to this place. Happy spring, happy Easter, Ishstar, whenever you arrive. So I wanted you to be here. We picked a few of your cards, but I wanted you to be here because well, we need to be together to make this happen. So I guess there's something this month that needs a we energy. Could also be figuring out, for some of you, like what's working or not. And one of the messages spoke about changes. Changes. Now, if there's someone else in your life and you are relating this reading purely, if your question, for instance, in relation to your intention where we are now connecting, right? If your question purely has to do with someone else, I need to know that they, at least in this time, are not going to change. And what the... But if you want to relate this change to yourself, you have great power. There's a great emphasis on the power of someone's faith to move mountains. Okay? What else? Oh, this reading is going to be longer. They seem to be longer this time frame. They're usually about 30. We're getting around 40 minutes for the collective through each zodiacal portal. So if you're in a rush, if you, for instance, are looking for like quick answers to something, this reading probably isn't going to be the one for you. I realized something when I was meditating and working through your energy, Leo, is that like this space is for asking questions. It's for curiosity. It's for, it's all about changes. What we can change inside, what we are changing inside of ourselves, what we would like to change in the outside world, or having to do with this physical reality. And figuring out why we want what we want, ensuring that that's right on, that has integrity, and it suits the soul. It suits, you know, who's in it together. And then of course, like once we get those parts in order, it's like then the pace of getting what you want, if you will, is actually pretty fast. So if there's any changes that you are liking to make, or that you know you want to see happen, again, there is great power to have this, so it shall be. So it shall be. Just a second. There's something about a feather. Okay. It's a lot. It's too many. When's the last time you moved house? There may be, mind you, we already mentioned it, but really the questions this month, I usually don't give this kind of direction to people because I want people to figure things out on their own. You know what I mean? That's the most empowering thing, right? You could tell a child to not run by the side of the pool, but until they run and they fall down, they're really not going to know why someone is telling them what to do. We have to do it for ourselves. But of course, like I saw the word accountability. Who are the people in your life that hold you accountable. Who is it that you hold accountable? And I guess we could talk about this. Accountability. An accountant keeps track of things, right? It makes sure everything goes down to zero. Everything matches, right? When we take all the information, we make sure it's all zeroed out, right? So there's nothing owed, nothing in debt. Like it's a good place to be, right? All the math again lines up. So we can do a lot as an individual, in my perspective, on our own. Through our own faith, through our own belief system, what we value, things like that. Let me try not to get off track. Sagittarius energy. So Sag talked about, and this is a big part of you, even if you have no stars there. This part in your map it makes the triangle of fire. It's what really ends up the energy that dictates our actions in this life, what we're attracted to, etc. So Sag talked about belief systems. If you are wanting to, or you are already in the process of changing belief systems. Let's touch on this, because this is another wide field, right? A belief system? What is that, right? Well, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe, what and how we believe in other people, that we know, that we don't know, what we believe about what we believe about money, what we believe about God, what we believe about what's possible, right? Even what's right and wrong. Once those pieces, and I feel like there's something in you mentally, it could be shifting really. You can go whatever field within this belief system, because I guess we all have it. It's like these plots of land. It's like they all connect, so once we figure out what those are, then we can move into how do I well, I'm seeing the what moves into a how. Because what we believe will be indicative to what we find valuable in this life. And I heard, what do I believe that a healthy relationship is with, and then you can fill in the blank with these fields within the belief system. Are you with me? This is a cool reading. Thank you, Leo. Okay. Oh, can we go back to accountability for a second? Hold on, I need a sip of water. Three sips. Mini chugs. Okay, accountability and support. These are incredibly important, right? Maybe some of you have an awesome accountant. Or maybe some of you are an awesome accountant, but good at math. But beyond that, accountability is, and support, right? We can have this in one person, in another person, in other people. We can be that to another person, to other people. Now, I suppose both sides with accountability has to be like, hey, you have to express what is going on with you and what you want to achieve, what a person wants to achieve, right? And a little bit of it would probably be acknowledging what the weakness is or what the part is that they want to change, because I guess we don't need accountability from other people if we feel like everything that we're doing is the right thing. But the thing is how it's human to err, right? So we all need each other to check one another. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing where a person, again, it has an acknowledgement to what they want to change, and then I see the word weakness. But that's why the other person is there to help you, right? Because it's awesome to be like, dude, you're doing a good job. And I hear someone saying that. Like, there's a lot of people saying this. And I heard a lot of people are saying things behind your back, but more in a positive way than you realize. You have great intuition, Leo. You really know when someone's not your friend. Once Leo understands how to process their own pain, like not letting things build up too much, then you never get abused. You know what I mean? You never feel used. The energy of your body is more calibrated. Now, for some of you, I could see that someone's done a lot of work to get to this place. Great awareness, good intuition. I heard mature intelligence around the situation. So there could be residual energy and ways of weakness, and maybe that's why we need to tap into what we believe. And I'm going back to 2018 and 2020. So maybe you could gander back there and just see. We are, where I am, we've just entered spring, which is kind of the beginning of the year. So we want our energy to have a forward focus. But I suppose before we start going forward, especially with Mercury in retrograde and Aries, it's like, well, who am I? You know, how did I deal with my money last year? Like, what did I do really well last year? And very awesome reading. This is such maturity. I need to know, those of you who are still here, I need to remember that there were a bunch of other people here when this started, if you will. But some of those are like just jumped in and then jumped out. It wasn't permanent, or they weren't like really, maybe they just served a purpose. Then they go off and they do whatever. But you here, since you're still here and you didn't give up, right? And I heard you're chipping at it, and obviously the spirit is really blessing you with some beautiful connections with other people. Some of you, spirit could also be granting you in the future like a home, more of a house that is suiting to you, or this could be a family, it could be a relationship. Interesting. It's also somebody's birthday. There's an Aries that you know, too. There might be two Aries, actually. So, the point is because you didn't give up, well, I heard you're winning. Right? Some people just want to talk about shit and not do anything about it. Some people are talking about it because they want, well, I heard help from others. And in that sense, because that's what they want, right? Leo is I want. And in essence, then I rule, right? But when you want it, and it's wholehearted, and it may even be something that takes a bit of your courage to change, right? Then you can do it. I just saw someone be like, move, mountain. Cool. Okay, you received this card. You can learn a lot of good lessons from a few fucked up people. To me, I'm feeling this more as past energy. This could also be slightly presently, like around you. Like maybe someone that you love very dearly, maybe they go about something different than you do. Right? You can feel it. Because, Leo, you have to know what's right and wrong. Because, to me, you have a big, big, big lesson with Saturn. You oppose Saturn, Leo to Aquarius, and you inconjunct Saturn, Leo to Capricorn. So Leo specifically, to me, I've only realized this recently, but like Leo in a person's map, Leo, you have it pretty strong. You're here now, right? It's like you can handle so much, but sometimes you take that too far and then you hurt yourself. And I heard it takes a village to raise a child, right? Okay. When's the last time you had a wave of money, or where you felt like you were doing well with money? There's also an exercise, and I see, please feel free. I just saw someone pause something after they took in some information. They paused and took a minute to process. Maybe that's just how a person works, but I'd like you to go over, you could go all the way back to 2018. Maybe it's just 2020, but I want you to look at where you have consciously made changes. It could be little things like you changed your mentality about something. You changed your emotional health, right? You changed the way you respond emotionally to things, or like the kind of what you accept for, like what you think love is, for instance. It could be bigger, more physical things like maybe you moved house, or you changed your phone number, or you started dating, you don't date that person anymore. You started dating someone new, whatever. But this is where, again, it's not, oh, they broke up with me. It's where a person and consciously was just like, I'm not going to do that. Because Leo is infinite energy again, and the downfall of Leo in that, I just need you to know this, because you got to know your Achilles heel. That's Aquarius rules the heels, right? You got to know your Achilles heel. Some of you, it's just you work too hard, and to me, that's what I was going to get at. Is you can push so hard and give so much to others that you really miss the point. It's like sometimes instead of an arrow, what you got to throw is a boomerang so it comes back to you. Interesting. Okay, what are you meant to... hold on a second. Let's look at the effectiveness of right now. If you were romantically involved, I feel like that is very helpful for your money and your mind. This month to be most effective is you have this Two of Cups energy. Look how awesome this is. I love this card. Working one-on-one very helpful. Some of you, this could also be talking to somebody about, I heard again, accountability. Maybe this is a financial advisor for some of you, or maybe it's like some kind of counselor, because you have the king, the king of swords and the king of pentacles. So we have air. Well, there's a lot of, how am I seeing this? Hold on a second. Well, the kings are about getting your energy in order, getting something in order. It's kind of like a game plan, you know, the king. So, and I saw Taurus, Libra. So again, if you're in a relationship or you just started dating somebody, I feel like they're a good person for you. If you're looking to meet somebody, that could also be something that happens in the future. And I guess we'll touch on all points. If you've been in a relationship for a while, this is also a very romantic time for you. It's very comfortable. It's like there's togetherness, and then there is this really beautiful like comfortability of individuality within the situation. I think emotionally there is something that's a little tricky. Emotionally, this could be where someone's worried about their body, or they're just not feeling that great about their body. Maybe someone's working a lot, and so they just don't have energy for certain things. I do think, and this has been kind of collective, but like thinking about health is really important. You know, what we eat, how we sleep, how much we sleep. Actually, how much we sleep, how well we sleep is actually very indicative of someone's healthy body, like how long they live. I mean, there is a man who lived to be 100 and something in England that only ate bread and water and occasionally milk. So, but these are simple. I'm sure he prayed over his food. Because mentality, like mental health is so important too, right? Someone likes to dress up. That may be something that helps a person to, like, I heard decide how they're feeling. Huh. Spiritually, I feel like a person is doing very good. There could be a little bit of a test. But I need you to know that you also came to some point of you've come to some point of completion. Like you made it to a certain mark, okay? And I feel like a person is protected in that. Like a person's protected where they live. I'm seeing a house that's like surrounded. They have there's trees all around it. Lots of birch trees particularly, but trees in general. Someone's very intuitive about the future too. I heard I want to make these changes because they're good for me and you. Empress. Someone's kind of off in their head a little bit. or like someone's thinking a lot. So if this is someone in your life that's like quiet, they're thinking all the time. They're like always having trying to figure something out in their mind. Now, if you happen to be the kind of quiet one, I feel like it would be very helpful to, well, I heard not be ashamed of how you feel and to share what's going on, or what you would like to see happen, because these kings to me also show like really far future energy. And someone could be kind of worried about that. They could be worried about their job, because that could be a thing. Some of you, it could be where you're meant to change your job. Or maybe some of you are in the stage where you're like, I'm about to retire, or I've just retired. It's like there's a bigger physical shift that I feel like this is something that has already happened. So again, maybe some of you moved house, or you changed jobs, or you like changed who you date. It's like something, all the little changes have brought a person to this point now. And I really feel like this is a good point to be in. So maybe that's why, because I'm seeing like a broad brush. So maybe we need to go into these, like, if we're talking about a broad brush, I guess we're talking about, again, like I'm seeing a Sagittarius energy. It's like looking at the big picture, right? Not just, I mean, sure, in the moment, you want to enjoy the moment. Enjoy right now. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy that party. Enjoy that beverage. Enjoy, like, that lovemaking session. Enjoy holding that person. Enjoy, be in joy of what you have, but realize that there's really, because I think it scares someone to look to the future too far. And I think that, because when we go too far in the future, then we get anxious, right? Anxiety comes in the mind. So maybe this is one of those things where, like, a person doesn't necessarily have to, well, how do I explain this? Let me say it differently. Someone has support in their life of someone, the thing that a person's weak at, somebody else is good at. So I heard you can learn from that. They could even potentially help you do it, right? Think about when we have a partnership or community. It's like, not everybody is a good gardener. Not everybody is good with money. Not everybody can see the forest for the trees, right? Some people can't even relax in this very moment. I know I have a hard time with that. I'm always doing something. But the point is that, like, we still have to try the thing that I heard worries us. Like, if it's a test of your own courage, like, can I do it? Of course you can. And again, I see some future context thing. But if we're talking about going all the way up to these kings, then we're working slowly, right? Chariot. We're not, it's a step-by-step process, you know? If you want to learn, like, for instance, I'm trying to teach myself Photoshop. I used to have the basics, but I hadn't done it in a while, and so I'm rusty. And so it's kind of like starting from scratch. And it's slow. But I know that there are things that I want to do where I'm gonna need to know how to do that. Ace of Cups. And if I want to, I can actually make it fun. I also know that I have people in my life that are good at that, and they can help me if I want to be, I heard, not stubborn to that opportunity. Right? So person's still doing, again, the thing that they know they need to, with the help of others. Huh. What changes are you, like... Well, I heard someone say, you've changed as a person. What do we have here? Ideas. What are some ideas? Keep going. What are some ideas that you have about the future? I guess this goes into your belief system a little bit, right? We do the belief, we figure out how that determines what we value. I heard then we can be a little bit more specific about what we want. Right, this is a very creative process what we're talking about here. And of course, everyone goes about it a little differently, right? Everybody likes their eggs a little bit differently. Everyone looks at things a little bit differently. And I heard someone ask another person, like, what do you think my weakness is? I mean, you could ask them your strengths, I guess, but I feel like a person needs to know, again, like, what their Achilles heel is. Because I could also see that whatever the mentality is, that the mindset that was like hurting a person. You know what I mean? Like where we'd, again, have those kind of conversations and be like, I know I need to do that. I know I need to do that. I know I shouldn't be doing that. Like, I know I need to change this. I know, but like never does any, just talk. It's like, I call it a cocaine conversation, right? Just talk about shit and then like not do anything about it. It's like, might as well, yeah, it's a cool idea, but like what gets done, right? Logical person. So, and to use logic and to have a dream become, like something become a reality, we have to make goals around it, right? And sometimes in the beginning of things, and I would say especially with fixed energy, you gotta kind of put on like that survival mode and be like, dude, I gotta change this. Like, this is fucking, it's like you push your own will to do it. And because you have that plan of action of what you're doing and how you got to go about it, at least in the few first stages, once you get past that, you can like ease up a little bit on the survival mode. You know what I mean? Because I could see if the seed of faith is only a mustard seed, which is all you need again to move a mountain. A mustard seed is very small, so it might be easy to lose. Who's your best bud? Who is always there for you when you need them? No matter how shaky you are, where you can really say, like, what's up with you. The pain that you're in, like the worry that you have, who understands you without you even really saying anything. You know what I mean? I feel like someone's trying new recipes. There's some like celebration or like there's some celebration in, I heard, January. There's also something about September, October. I feel like that's a really good time for you. Not that now isn't. Just again, I guess we're going forward. Cleared it. Hey, Allie. Cleared it. I feel like emotionally a person is so strong here. They really are. They don't think about things like they used to. They don't worry about things like they used to. Brat. Yeah, they don't deal with shit that they used to. Messy room. And worth the wait. Worth the wait. I'm seeing Libra energy. So, I heard you want to trust yourself with money. We have morning coffee. Feeling strong. If some of you drink coffee or like that kind of routine, I feel like you want to... Oh, what am I seeing? Well, let's keep going with this. I'm seeing someone like... where they usually like get up and just instantly drink coffee. But instead of that, it's like, because that feels good, right? I know most of us here, I'm assuming, drink coffee in the morning. It's just like, that's basic. It tastes good. Like, it feels good. It's warm, right? Maybe it's sweet for some of you. But the point is it feels good. So I feel like shifting a little bit of something, it's almost like a delayed gratification could be helpful. You know, where it's like, all right, I'm going to stretch for 5 minutes before I have my coffee. Right? I'm going to... and now we have the card waste of time. So maybe you want to keep track, Leo, just... It could be, you could be looking, time is money, right? So you could be looking at it any way you want. But maybe you want to keep track of like how much time you spend doing what. Of course, I heard you need time to relax and just sit and be and not worry about, I heard, anything, right? You can leave those dishes in the sink. You can do them tomorrow. It's fine. If they're piling up too much, then we know there's an issue. That's different. Right, I heard we need time to catch up with their friends. I see someone like having a conversation on the phone. Sharp and ready. Productivity. Ancient ways. So, because back in the day, we had a lot more time to get things done. People weren't in such a rush, right? We live in a little bit different of a time, but we still have the same amount of time, and we have a lot of conveniences. We don't have to spend, you know, like, we're spending our time as in humanity at this point differently than we did before. So just pay attention again, like, how much time you spend with whom and doing what. And I really feel like if there's anything that doesn't feel good, or like if you want to change something right now, it could be a habit, again, a belief system, it could be whatever, you can do it, Leo. But eat off that floor. Now, it's like, the only way I eat off the floor is if I get on my hands and my knees and I scrub. You gotta sweep, you gotta scrub, then you gotta go over it again and make sure you get all that minute scuzz off of there. Right? It's a 3-step process, and then you gotta wait for it to dry. This is a slow thing. This isn't some Swiffer sweeping, like just pushing the fucking dirt around. You know what I mean? Interesting. So again, if you want to change anything, and I feel like for some of you, this could just be looking at the future, or about where you're at right now and how that connects to the future. Because I heard you're the only one in control of your of the time that you spend. And I heard, and the universe is in charge of the time of when certain things happen. But it's like, we got to work together. You know, God isn't going to give us things when we don't, like, work for them, right? God helps those that help themselves. And even when we help ourselves, sometimes things are slow, right? But the Lord is not slow in his keeping. He's not. It's just we have a different concept of time. And so I want you to believe that, I want someone to believe that something is possible. And if you've been praying to, like, remove yourself from, like, certain things, like, well, I saw where someone, like, picked up, it was like a kitten. And I heard people are who they are. They show us who they are. You go into somebody's house and it's dirty, there's dishes in the sink, it's fucking sloppy in there. That is what kind of person they are. They're not going to change because you love them. If they treat you badly, they're not going to love you more if you do things for them, right? But if once we get over this lesson, which takes fucking forever sometimes, right? Then, feather, things become lighter, and the forces that are combined are actually conducive and are on the same page. And that's, I think, what's helping, like, the goals become, the dreams become more of a reality. Shit on the carpet. You know, it's just like morning dove. I feel like this is, again, there's some kind of residual old energy too, that's lingering, even if that physical thing is no longer in your life. That, like, maybe somebody told somebody something like, you'll never do that, or like, you're not this. And again, this could just be a person to themselves talking shit to themselves. And then we have money matters and truth told. And then we have the card of, is it relevant? So maybe financially also, that could be something that a person would want to think about. You know, feel like this person's getting an intuitive hit also, that they may have to spend a lot of money on something, but if you're needing it and you feel like you don't have it, then I heard make a plan, right? Because if we don't make a plan, then what we're setting ourselves up, broken dreams, is failure, right? But if we have a plan, no prob. No prob. Right? And then the fire starts. It's like, all right, and now it's going. All you have to do is tend to it. So if you have a plan, you just, maybe this is a savings account for something. Or like someone's putting particular kinds of things in like pots, right? It's just like, okay, if I want this, I want that. Well, okay, if I want this, I want that, sure. You know, okay, I'll give one last example in relation to this. It's like, when I was living in the South by myself out in the woods with just Zumi and I, it's like I get to a point where, okay, so that house, I didn't have a security deposit because I didn't have to. Which was cool. That was a nice thing at the time because I was pretty tight on money. Well, then I started doing better with money and I realized, well, I should at least have a security deposit in case, right, in the future, when I'm going to move, like if and when I move, then I'm going to have that. I was also, then once I had that in order, I was just like, all right, my car's good. I like my car, but I know that I'm going to need a car in the future and it'd be nice to have that little pot. So I started making a little pot for that. You know, just to be kind of like prepped for it. 8 of Wands, because when, again, I heard God helps those that help themselves. You ever needed something, for instance, you're in one of those places and you just like, you know that you need it, and then all of a sudden, and you've been working at it and trying and saving whatever your focus is, and then all of a sudden it shows up. It's like a miracle, right? Shows up out of nowhere. It's like, boop, it's just right there, whatever you need. But I guess we need to know what we want and what we believe. I love you, Leo. Take care. Peace.